Shout out Bird. Hey. These people do not understand. I'm moving as fast as I can. Sending my prayers to God. He doing whatever he can.
Sour bone beautiful black people. What's good with you? It's your boy Smith, man. Been a minute again. I know. Well, hey, the one thing about like, wait, it's real. It's real. And as much as you want to be consistent, sometimes you just can't be consistent as you want to. You know what I'm saying? They say availability is your best ability. And sometimes you just can't be available for some stuff. Other stuff you need to be available for. Thus, um, which would speak upon my absence. But we good. Thank you for joining the show, man. Smith, the speaker. It's Mannish Monday. It's Mannish Monday. How y'all feeling? You good? You alive? I know y'all. Some of y'all cold. I seen the snow. The snow is insane. Just across, like there was frigid weather down in Houston. That says a lot. You know, it's always funny. I think about this time of year when it gets cold. And they showed what's it, lizards or iguanas falling out the tree in Florida. I don't know why that makes me chuckle, but it's just comedy. They ain't built for that. They ain't built for that. And that's why they're in Florida where it's sunny and warm. You know what I'm saying? Hey, welcome to the show, man. I know you're good, whether you in the snow or in the sunshine or rain, wherever you are. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for the support. Please subscribe if you have. Outstanding. I appreciate it. Share. I would say this. I would probably rather you share my work uh, uh, than subscribe to it. You don't have to subscribe to nothing. I think sharing um, is the benefit. You know, I always say education through communication. The more people speak, good or bad or indifference, you know, the more educated people become on different things. You know, if you're just in an echo chamber subscribing to one notion, like how much input can you get? You know what I'm saying? Other than the stuff that's just thrown around and they're bounced off the walls repeatedly. So share it, man. Hopefully someone catches on and they like it. You know what I'm saying? If you're new to it, welcome. You know what I'm saying? This is how I get down. I'm hella off the wall just doing what we got to do. But I try to make some points. You know what I'm saying? Try to be motivational, inspirational, positive, educational all at the same time. Nope. Didn't get a guest yet. And it's cool. Because I will. Don't trip. And when because you know, like when the guests come, they come. You feel me? So with all of that said, let's just start off with a mindful moment and understanding um, things don't have to be complicated. We choose to make them complicated. You know, it's like if someone, I got this from my grandson. If someone asks you to write your name, why would you want to write it backwards? Write it the way you know, and we don't have to make it complicated. Now, what I will say about that, to his credit, is I like his creativity. There's no rule to say you have to write your name in alphabetical order the correct way. Is it necessary sometimes for factual purposes? Yes. Yes. But again, let's not make things complicated, right? We are the sum of our actions. And the easier we enter into decisions and thoughts and actions, uh, the less complicated they become, you know? And that's coming from a gentleman like high strung. Well, I want to say I used to be. I think I'm leveling off now where I can understand and comprehend my feelings and identify them and manage them and then respond accordingly. But I'm sure I know there was points in my life when it was just off the rip, just responding, you know, making things more complicated. Especially when you're trying to get a point across, like I was, and you're not even listening to the feedback that's coming back at you. You just want to be louder, you know, making things more complicated. You know, sometimes just like I always say at the end of the show, you just be quiet and listen. You might learn something. So mindful moment, man. Don't make things so complicated. They don't have to be. Sometimes we want them to be, and then that's how we act accordingly. So take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. All right, it's all good. Let's get on to it. I'm on the clock today. I got some other business going on. Um, again, um, I just want to make sure that I'm paying respect uh to my ancestors. And we that's a very, very low hanging fruit right now. Piece of That's a word, that's a phrase, it's a connotation to it that is going around right now. And I'm not opposed to it, but I do want to make sure I'm doing my part. And when I say ancestors, I don't necessarily mean 200 years ago. I'm talking literally about my parents, my aunties, my uncles, my grandparents, right? My great grandparents, who I come to find out, I want to say his great great grandfather was a slave in Beaumont, South Carolina. Being mindful to that, and make sure I'm paying my respects is that say what you want about me. I hope that I'm utilizing not just this, but my life, my legacy as a platform to move in a direction that's progressive and positive for them. Not just I'm not talking about just Smith the speaker, the YouTube channel. I'm talking about my everyday life, is and my existence, right? And why is that important to me? And this is just me, is because it's crazy. And I did not make this up. I did not first person go, "Ooh, look at this." Was it, but it's a constant reality check to hear many folks talk about the Holocaust and how they should remember it, never forget it. Um, but then when it comes to slavery, you're supposed to, well, now let's not get into that yet. You know what I'm saying? Get over it. You know, and the what is always shocking to me. That's not even shocking. It makes me chuckle inside. Is we're supposed to get over it, and white Americans are quick to say, "Well, I wasn't alive then, and I didn't own no slaves." You're right. You didn't. You know that does not negate the fact that it existed. You know, you never hear that. You never, ever, ever. Let me say, I've never heard that when um, Jewish individuals bring up the Holocaust. I have never heard any white American say, "Well, I wasn't over there. I wasn't part of that. I didn't like the gas." You know what I'm saying? It's just so that's why I want to be mindful of doing my part, because I'm not going to get over it. What can I do? I can keep talking. I can keep uh, doing what I can to enlighten young people. And again, I was talking to some young folks the other day. I'm not here to change your mind. I'm just here to introduce you to some facts, matter of facts, because that's what I speak. I don't know I don't talk in hyperbole. I don't talk in made up stuff. Moon is made of cheese. I don't say stuff like that. If it is, I don't know. I've never been there, so I don't say it. I ain't been there. You know what I'm saying? I can only speak on what I know, and the fact that one of my ancestors was probably more than one, but I know of that is that they were enslaved as a human being is an atrocity against humanity, and one that I feel like I want to just make sure I'm doing my part to make sure that their journey does not go in vain, even if it's just my one little part. You know what I'm saying? So with that, that's me being mindful. You know what I'm saying? We'll wrap it up the weekend real quick. I don't know who the white lady is that could kidnap, but damn, it's an expensive search. So I'm going like 2.5 weeks. I don't know who this woman is, but I know there's many, many black humans that um, get taken away daily, and nothing like this. Nothing like this. We have currently uh, part of the weekend roundup is, we have federal um, employees being removed from particular states and cities, and they were kidnapping people right off the streets in front of us. Nothing. Now they mentioned it here or there, but yeah, that's I don't know who that person is, but it's crazy, and this is going to sound mean, but it's how my mind thinks. I love criminal masterminds that get over. I love criminal masterminds that get over, not in a very heinous, violent way, but when they slap it to the people, when they slap, not to the people, but they slap it to the government. And what I mean by that is whoever took this woman, they haven't found him. It was a while before they even had a figure. Like the person just disappeared. And then slowly, oh, well, we got video footage. It's all hooded and mask and gloves. And, allegedly there's a pacemaker involved and there's medicine involved. In the beginning, it was that person don't get their medicine in like 3 days. It could be all bad. So we're at 3 weeks. I'm thinking death has already set in. I don't know. But criminal masterminds, and this is what I get out of criminal masterminds is when they give it to the government. Our government applauds themselves. They parade, shout at the rooftops how incredibly intelligent their services are. CIA, FBI, whoever, right? Department of Homeland Security, Border Patrol, because they can kidnap presidents. They can kidnap presidents, right? They can kill country leaders. They can find people living in caves, but they can't find this person. How many years did it take for them to find Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber? I still don't know if they found the Zodiac killer. You know what I'm saying? The Boston Strangler. I'm just saying, criminal masterminds that outsmart our government make me laugh. You know why that is? Because they're mostly white Americans. See, and what goes into that is you have to listen how crazy that is. Ted Kaczynski, you get by on privilege because you're a white male living out in the wilderness. Who suspects you as you're just living off the grid? No, you don't want to be bothered. A black person living off the grid will raise some flags. An Iranian, you know, Hindu, Latino, you know, Muslim. You live off the grid with that, and now you raise some red flags. But a white American living off the grid, no, you kind of blend in, and they use their camouflagery as cover in broad daylight. You know, the what I forget what was the other guy, Bundy, Ted Bundy, that was like raping all the young girls. He's like a normal Wall Street guy. The picture we paint of Wall Street, just walking amongst us. And that's why it makes me laugh because it's their own kind that's infiltrated and understands the process of just fitting in. Like everything is right in front of you and you just don't know it. I can almost see whoever this person is that got this old lady, they gonna be like, damn, man, like he literally was right in front of us the whole time. The whole time. You know. So there was the weekend. There was a dunk contest with the NBA. There was some other stuff I didn't watch. I told you none of that stuff. I'll say this about the dunk contest, and I just thinking about it today, and I don't even know why. But we're at a the dunk contest is you want some 5'10" white cat from the G League to come and dunk because that's all you have. I know when I was younger, say what you want about the dunk contest, but the dunk contest was popular, I think in part, that it was stars, everyday stars that were playing that were averaging 30 points a game, 10 rebounds, 8 assists, was on every highlight. They were part of the dunk contest. It wasn't some slaps that don't play, might average 4 minutes a game, playing the G League, just got caught up on a 10-day contract. No, you had you had Hall of Famers in the dunk contest. You had legends in the dunk contest in their prime. Now we have this parade of who knows with jumping over men and barely clearing them. Let's keep it a band. They're barely clearing these cats, pushing off on their shoulders when they get to the top. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. So I didn't watch it, but that's my thought. Man, the dunk contest, yeah, but I don't know but I'm just saying that's why I can't watch it. It's not the dunk contest. So that being said, let's get the weekend jumped off right. You know, have a thought and stick to it. Have a thought and stick to it. I know when you take exams and tests, quizzes, they tell you to go with your first instinct, right? Um, so when we start the week off, have a thought and stick with it. So that way there, when the days come around, the following days, it's not a question. Yeah, this is my thought. I'm sticking with it. I thought I put it on, I put it in motion on Sunday or Monday. I'm sticking with it to this day. In dominoes, they say, if it was good the last go around, follow that train. Follow that train. Stick to your thought. First thought. Stick to it. Make a thought, stick to it. Stop flipping it up. Stop flipping it up. Goes back to making things complicated. Let's keep things simple, man. Nicely. Shout out D. You know what I'm saying? You keep things less complicated, things would be nicely. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? Get a thought, stick to it. Let's get into the meat and potatoes. And then this is just a pop theory of mine. Um, just a whole bunch of different things, how they're interconnected. Right. There was another shooting, this time at a hockey rink, ice rink, I don't know what you call it, ice skating rink, frozen thing. People got shot, killed. Now, I don't know who those people are, but again, it goes to capitalism. You know, the 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 Second Amendment is, and now we're again, I've said this before, like how we're being challenged to what words mean. Now, when you group words together, they're really ambiguous, right? Because you can interpret. Let me say, you can read the Second Amendment and you can interpret it way you want that fits your ideation. You can. That's the way it's working. Most of those documents created, then voted on, very ambiguous. Now, they're supposed to be standing pillars of the law, of the democracy of this republic, but they're very ambiguous. And how do I know that to be true? Just look at every single, maybe not every single case. I'm not a lawyer, but I would say a lot of cases that go before a judge or court. If they're overruled and people don't like it, what do? You appeal it, right? One court sends it up to another court. One court sends it down to another court. One court sends it back to the original court that it come from. And then you have overrides. If we have a written document that dictates, that outlines the laws, then how can one judge see something different than the other? Are we interpreting different? And so I say that because the Second Amendment speaks about arms and bearing arms. Um, And it seems to me we are so focused on the gun part of it. Arms, weapons. Are we talking knives, bombs, firecrackers, metal pipes? It seems to me it's the gun part. The gun part. Most of the violence when we have school shootings, mall shootings, library shootings, church shootings are guns. They're not knives. They're not those spinning things with the ball with the pointing on the end. You know what I'm saying? They're not samurai swords. They're not butterfly knives. And it is just crazy to me how capitalism is so powerful that we interpret things the way we want to interpret them to fit our position. I don't know how much Derringer or Remington or whoever these other gun manufacturers are, I don't know how much they make. Sure, it's a lot. And I know they don't want their profit mess with one bit. That's why you have lobbyists, you know. But I say all of that just to keep with the theme of capitalism and its effect or its direct impact on our civilization. Because we want things. We have the right to have things. You have the right to not be infringed upon. But again, before I get too far, capitalism will interpret the laws the way they want to. Get to, slavery. You get to the 13th Amendment, the 14th Amendment. Um, we start interpreting things, right? And I'm saying this because I'm going to keep saying it. I might do a show next week and say the exact same thing because that's how important it is to me. At the age of 12, way before the internet, maybe not. I don't know when the internet was created. Who knows? But before we had what we think of today as social media, it was just pretty much radio and TV. And I remember about 12 years old, I started to hear um, that I was going to be murdered before I turned 21 by another black man. Now, at that time, East Oakland, where I grew up, was the murder capital of the world. We had crack was being put into our communities. Guns were at an all-time high. Um, I don't want to say poverty, but income, wages were low. Um, I wasn't astute of the finances and economics as I am now, but I'm sure they were just as challenging, maybe if not more. And so I had to live with this. Um, and I've seen many young men go to jail. I've seen many men die, and I've seen many men um, caught up in a vicious uh, dependency on different things. And it has always bothered me that that is a reality of my life. And now at my ripe old age of 54, I can sit back and I can start decompartmentalizing things and how they affected me and how I made judgments and decisions based on that one thought process of dying by another black man before I was 21. And so with that, I would say this. I my book is entitled I Fit the Description. It's purposeful. It's play on words. Um, every time. for the most part. We hear, especially black men, being murdered by especially white officers. We hear, oh, well, he fit the description. Tall, black. That's pretty much it. Then everything else is just, blurred chitter chatter. He's tall and black, 6'1", light build, OT, you know. You know, and we have been for me, I just speak on what I see, what I know. We have been treated as a commodity for a very long time in this particular country. I'll be clear on that. In this particular country, without no true value, again, in this particular country. Meaning, hey, once you can look at slavery, you can look at current what do you call it, the leagues. You can look in the business world. You can look wherever. Once we are done with you, you have no value. We are done. Kick you to the curb. You know, some cases will kill you, right? When there's no value, you can do things like that. You have the affordability to just replace them. Okay, we'll go get somebody else. We'll go get somebody else. Now, was there a value in the sense of trading the commodity? Sure. You give me, I got one strong buck here. You give me three young up and comers and a winch, right? You see that in sports now. We'll give you this prime guy in his prime. You give us three lottery picks and one mediocre guy off the bench. We'll call it even. We're done with him now. But in the real world life, we're not in an arena in a game per se. It's just another black man with no value in the sense of the eyes of the powers that be. We're expendable. We're a commodity. Throwaway. Take you when we need you. We'll take your thoughts, your genius, your culture. We don't need you after that. You know what I'm saying? How many? I can attest to this firsthand knowledge. Maybe you ever been that guy where white folks look at you and go, Schmidt, you gonna let that happen? Or are you gonna let that happen? Like, motherfucker, you see it too? You ain't gonna handle that? Well, I'm the designated ass whooper around here just because I'm the only black. No, 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 no. That's not how this works. I'm gonna finish doing mine. Y'all gonna handle that. You know? Um, it's just a lot of things that I've been involved with where it's, oh, Schmidt, you want to rap for us? In the parade? No, yeah, what the fuck I want to rap for? You know what I'm saying? I remember this time, and I'm gonna tell you because I gotta move on. This is how me and my player partner met. Mean this, he'll tell you to this day. This is how we met. Walking to school, all white school, our first days, me and him. I don't know him. I'm walking with my cousin and some white folks. Ninth grade. We ain't even got to the school. It ain't even the first. We walking to literally to the first day of school. Words out their mouth. Hey, yo, Smith, man, new kid at the school. Mind you, I'm a new kid too. What's up, man? You gonna beat him up? Oh yeah, he does this, he does that. He got a beard, or he got a mustache. So I get to the schoolhouse. I see, bruh, look like me. You know what I'm saying? 1983, 1984. You know what I'm saying? I see him, hit him with a head nod, keep on walking. Man, I don't know this dude. Got no problems with him. Got problems with y'all. First and foremost, I should be whooping y'all ass. But anyway, we get to, I don't know, month, 2 months into school. We end up hooking up on the basketball court, and we've been tight ever since. Trump tight, solid. Player partner, godsons, the whole nine. We did it. We still Trump tight to this day. You know what I'm saying? But that's how they do us. That we're that got the go-to rapper, the go-to dancer, the go-to this, the go-to that. Right? But we still ain't got no value. So with all of that being said, we talk about capitalism. I did not make this up. I did not think about this. It was told to me and I wanted to share it. And this is where I'm going with this. when we start talking about capitalism and value, we are, if we get upset, which we are entitled to, I believe, when we see black men murdered, especially by white officers. However, we don't get upset when we see young black men killing young black men every single day on the streets across this country. Why? Because it's normalized. It doesn't even make the news anymore. You know, if it was me back in 1983, 84, whatever it was, maybe it might have made a local news because it was popular then. Now we've come so just just benign to these young men just murdering each other for what we can all kind of ponder and guess what led to it. However, regardless if it's them, if it's young people killing young people, or if it's somebody else killing us, we are still dying. We are still dying, almost valueless. And to make matters worse, some of us, when we die, has debt on through funeral arrangements, whatever, whatever it may be. Is it sometimes there's a life insurance policy involved? Yeah, maybe sometimes, but not most of the time, right? And if we want to eradicate, truncate the 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 normalized killing of black men, let's put a price on our head. Put a price on our head. Life insurance policy. Life insurance policy. Sounds stupid? I think about it like this. If if you have a life insurance policy, one, you create an immediate estate. That's a whole different financial literacy conversation, but that's what you're doing. You're creating an estate. Okay. Now we are opening up an avenue for finances to travel uphill instead of downhill. Okay. Let's just say X young black man is murdered. Now there's some things that go into life insurance contracts when we start talking about what will be covered. Okay. But I'm just talking about in general. He's murdered, he has license policy. Now there's no need for a GoFundMe. There's no need for donations. Are they welcome? Sure. But GoFundMe, they take a percentage. There's a price in that. You know what I'm saying? A life insurance policy moves money into family members' hands that need it to continue living, to help them, one, have the safety mechanism to say, okay, I don't have to stress on the financial part about burying my loved one. I can stress on my mental condition about burying my loved one. Two different things. But if you add them together, it's chaos added. But if we can alleviate one, so we can focus on the mental and emotional part of healing, finances could be in place to take care of said expenses and then other things or what have you, right? The other part is this, the meat and potatoes of it is capitalism is about making money. Insurance companies need to make money. That's what they do. That's why you don't get no money back. They're covering their expenses. They're in it to make money. Now, if every young black man, every black man had a life insurance policy, at least 100,000, at least 100,000. I'm not saying it would end the way we're treated, but it put a values on us. And if insurance companies had to continually pay that worth, there'll be some eyebrows raised. There'll be some conversations. Will it end it? I'm not saying that. I'm saying it will give pause for thought and consideration. maybe even some pushback, maybe even some policies written to change, maybe even some conversations around specific laws because they don't want to lose their money. Now, if you amplify that and multiply it, remember, add and multiply, never divide and subtract. So if we add, say, $200,000 policies, $500,000 policies, $1 million policies, there'll be some ongoing conversations. I guarantee you. Will it change it? I don't know. But will there be conversations? Yes. Why? Because now there's a dollar amount attached to us. We're not just some throwaway commodity. We're not just some endless cash cow. We become the cash cows for our families as we intended to be. We almost become protected. We almost become protected and damn near untouchable. Play that back. I'm getting up out of here, but I had to put that out there because right now, what I'm doing, 2026, I'm trying to get 10 young brothers life insurance policy, at least $100,000. I mean that. If I don't do nothing, maybe, maybe, maybe. Do I have a policy? Yes, I do. Maybe I change the trajectory of one of their families if something unfortunate was to happen. Do I want it to? No. But should we be prepared? Damn right we should. Everybody else is. Am I saying we're worthless? No, I'm not saying that at all. Bruh, you know we are phenomenal. We are incredible. We are magnificent, wonderful, glorious creatures, richer than any other human can be because we have it all. We started it all. But I'm just saying here in this social construct, what our value is deemed by some on the outside. So I just want to do my part to acknowledge it, share it, helpfully eradicate it, and change it for the better. Beautiful black people, that was Mannish Monday. I hope you like it. Share it. Subscribe if you like. Leave a comment. You know what I'm saying? Tap in if you want to get on here and say otherwise to my Mannish Mondays nonsense. I'm all ears. I'm willing to listen. Hey, beautiful black people. So next time, have a conversation with somebody that doesn't look like you and doesn't sound like you. And if you listen and shut up, you just might learn something. Beautiful black people. Sawabona.
Shout out Bird. Hey. These people do not understand. I'm moving as fast as I can. Sending my prayers to God. He doing whatever he can.